sponsorship and backing behind this show.
Also, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is going to be starting the third week of November. Is a safe bet for that. And rumours suggest they're going to try and get some Olympians in there. And there's also rumours that Trini and Susanna,
I've read about Trini and Susanna. I've seen some of the spoilers. I think one of the spoilers tends to indicate that a former Tottenham Hotspur football player will be going in. I hope for his sake it's not Gaza. Because I don't know if they've got a chicken shop and fishing rods available. So I'd
be surprised.
Yeah, that's right. Cheryl. I want to say Cheryl Crow, but it's not. Cheryl Gascoigne, I suppose her name is.
You know what Gaza's surname is? Just go with that.
I don't actually. Oh, it's Gascoigne. I know that. And the aforementioned Arrow was well received. I don't know if you haven't probably seen this. Isn't much up your alley, is it?
No, if I had an alley, this wouldn't even be allowed around the corner to enter.
But as we've talked about, big ratings in America, renewed for a whole series. A lot of pomp and circumstance about it on Sky last night. I now, following my trip to Sky's main event, or US event, have now followed most of the PR people, and they were banging on about it. And rightly so. I think it's good. My review is still up on your site.
I don't know if this come as a shock to you, but people who work in PR, they have to PR the things they're PRing.
Oh, is that what they do?
They can't not PR them if they're PRing the things they're supposed to PRing. That's what PR.
So they use like Twitter for good rather than just us, just nattering.
Well, we use it for PR, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah, it's
more. We use it to contact Dawn French.
And the Chuckle Brothers. Now, if Dawn French and the Chuckle Brothers end up in a show together, we are on fire. Which brings us nicely on to... I didn't catch that. Say that again.
If I'm a celebrity this year, I'm flying over to Australia myself.
Well, you're going to be in it. Brilliant. Could you still do the podcast from there?
I could do, yes, but I'd have my head in the thing with a load of insects crawling around it.
I don't know if they have Wi-Fi.
Kangaroo testicles, which I normally do before the podcast, but if I was in Australia, I'd do it during.
You'd have to do it during, fair enough. Which brings us nicely on to the last part of the show, which is always where we look forward to what is upcoming in television in the next week.
Hang on!
What?
Hang on a minute. How does me eating kangaroo testicles bring us nicely on to anything?
Link. That's like a one-show link. That really is. So, kangaroo testicles. And now, we're going to talk about death. So... We're not really going to talk about death. We're going to talk about Sky Living's new show, Elementary, which shows tonight at 9 p.m, which is the American remake of Sherlock, starring Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu, which always makes me want to bound into some sort of song when I say her name. Do you think I'd go to go Lucy Liu? No?
Don't fight that feeling, please, for the sake of everyone.
Fight that feeling. No singing on the podcast. I saw this again at the same...
Skeptical about this Sherlock thing, weren't they? But you've seen it. You went out and mingled with people, and you saw it before anyone else. Even before Johnny Lee Miller.
Unwashed.
Except Lucy Liu. She's still not seen it, and she was in it. So,
the only thing I would say, Johnny Lee Miller was very good, but the problem was, conversely, Lucy Liu was quite wooden. I don't know what it was, but she seemed to only have one sort of facial expression, which was the same for shocked, surprised, happy, sad, and that didn't help. But effectively, I think as someone I read on Twitter put, this is an American crime drama with Sherlock Holmes dropped into it. So I think it will do its good, and obviously it's been given a whole series, so it must be doing something right across the pond. I think it's got an audience over here.
Lucy Liu was Lucy Liu was quite wooden.
Yeah.
I would say that it came out in news this week that she's actually 50% pine.
Really? Is the other 50% mahogany?
Yeah, the other part is Lou.
Yeah, indeed. I'm hoping that perhaps... God.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say...
you go on.
No, you go on.
Okay.
You are not going to go on. Yeah, go on.
We just had a quick message on Twitter. It says, "Hello, Luke, can you please discuss why you think Monroe isn't popular with audiences, even though it's brilliant? Let's try and do this in a second, because we've sort of moved on from Monroe, but I feel as somebody's requested it. It's like if somebody requested I play a song, I would have to play the song. So I feel like we should discuss it briefly. I think people have made decisions about Monroe without seeing it. They think it's a medical drama, and they think they know what to expect from medical drama, and it's not like that at all. And I think that's why it's not doing so popular with audiences. Also, being against new tricks isn't helping it. That's my opinion.
And I would agree with the new tricks argument. I would also say James Nesbitt isn't a big, huge star to draw people in. He's a good TV actor, but I think that perhaps some people might be put off by him a little bit. I think he's excellent in this show. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think that some people go, "Oh, James Nesbitt, I'll definitely start watching that." And I think, don't forget, we get a lot of medical dramas in the UK. Don't forget, Casualty and Holby City run almost 52 weeks a year. So you might be thinking, what's different about Monroe without, before you sort of turn your television over.
I think the trailers have given it a sort of like he's a godly type figure, and I think that puts people on. But thank you for getting in touch, and I hope
who was that? Can we name and shame?
That was James. No.
James Nesbitt, the actor.
That was a Twitter person at HarrisonG57. Thank you for getting in touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting in touch.
So we were talking about Elementary. Would you recommend that people watch this tonight?
Yes, mostly out of curiosity. If you're a fan of Sherlock, watch what someone else has interpreted that character to be in a more modern world. You look at the remake that was done so brilliantly by Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, and it was just from the first scene when they were all sitting there playing with it, when Sherlock was playing with the texts, you knew that this was going to be amazing television. Elementary doesn't quite have that punch, but I think it's solid, and I think Johnny Lee Miller is a good take on the Sherlock character. Does it differently to Benedict Cumberbatch, which is quite good. I'd recommend. I'm keen to see the second episode.
Sherlock has actually done well in the States. It's on public access television, PBS. It's won awards. The DVDs are out. Why do they feel the need to do their own? It's a bizarre...
Well, but as I say, they've kind of given it a different twist. As I said, it's just a standard crime drama with his character dropped into it, and his character is what will make it or break it. If people can... And he is a much more destructive, much more chaotic Sherlock than Benedict Cumberbatch's character, who plays it more as a kind of austere, Britishness. John Lee Miller does play it as kind of almost like a psychotic kind of, mess of a man. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But I'm keen to watch the second episode, as I have already watched the first.
Do you get feeling they're going to stick to the Sherlock stories like Sherlock is? We're going to see...
no.
Moriarty, and they're not.
You might see Moriarty, but I don't think you're going to get the Hand of the Baskervilles, the Reichenbach Falls, or the End Game as it was known when in the books. No, I think they're going to go away and write new scripts for which he is involved in. I don't think they will follow the Sherlock pattern at all.
One thing we haven't spoken about, which is in the news at the moment, and a lot of people are talking about it on Twitter and on TV in general, is today sees the end of a television era. CFAX.
Oh, yes, CFAX. I did see some tweets and stuff about that. I loved CFAX. I used to watch the football scores on CFAX on a Saturday afternoon.
I still like going
before
888
the days of Sky
Sports.
Sports. Yeah. But it's all red button.
And also what I liked about teletext is when you were looking at the guide or trying to find holidays and you couldn't find the whole button quick enough and it would move too for you, you'd have to sit through the whole load of teletext again to get back round to the page you were wanting. But it was a simpler time. We had more time on our hands then.
You could wait 30 seconds for it to scroll over to the next page. Now, in the digital age, you move now with your mouse or your iPad or whatever it is that you're using. Yeah.
I suppose do we need
it's a fond memory.
Should we just feel need it?
Should we just have 5 seconds of silence?
Heads and take a couple of seconds. And just
now,
respect.
ladies and gentlemen, now, ladies and gentlemen, a moment of respect for Max. Thank you. Can't leave it too long because obviously the emergency tape would break in if we leave too much silence. And that emergency tape is you singing, and no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear you singing, so... Yeah. Other shows starting next week. In fact, another one starting tonight. If you enjoyed Body of Proof, starring Dana Delaney, Series 1, good news. Series 2 is coming back on Channel 5 tonight. I've watched this. It was on Alibi earlier this year. This is gentle, good stuff. There's good character acting in this. It's very light-hearted, and I really like it. I think Dana Delaney's a good character actress. She was good in
is it
Desperate
called
Housewives
something
as well.
different? Because is it like bigger Body of Proof or slimmer Body of Proof or
Bodies of Proof? There's just more of them. So.
Oh, that's grown over the year.
Bodies have grown over the year. Well, a bit of summer weight put on. New shows starting on Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Sky Living is Chicago Fire, starring Jesse Alexander from House. They look at me with the names
Jesse
this
Spencer.
evening.
Jesse Spencer.
I was 50% right again. That's better. I'm now 50% right on nearly all names, guaranteed. He stars as a fireman in Chicago. Shock horror. The problem with this that I've got, I'll watch it and let you know next week, is there have been quite a few shows like this. There was one with Dennis Leary in it, wasn't there?
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me that all kicked off out of 9/11. That was on Sky for a number of years, and there was another one as well that featured a fire brigade. I think it was another American one. That had some notoriety. Well, yeah, London's Burning a long time ago. Then there was one that was on Channel 4 that was
This is about a firefighting
in Chicago.
It's not about
Well
Jesse
named.
Spencer just playing himself and setting fires all around Chicago.
It's also not the name of the next NFL.
Which we don't.
It's also not the name of the Major League Soccer team in Chicago, as many people would think. It's not where David Beckham. Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
Returning also on Sky 1 on Wednesday is the 5th and final series of Fringe. 13 episodes in order to round off the series, and I'm looking forward to that. The Coming of the Others. Well, they're not called the Others, are they? They're called something else. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Them, that's it. Coming of Them, I don't know. Brilliant, and that'd be the last thing. On Thursday,
everybody says the show.
On Thursday, on More 4, you can see American cancelled show Scandal. There are only 7 episodes, so don't get too attached to this one. But it's a political drama, probably why More 4 picks it up. More 4, which was the home of the West Wing in this country. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. If you're playing the West Wing game, take your shot now. Thank you very much. More American drama coming to Channel 5 on Friday. A mini-series starring Kevin Costner called Hatfield and McCoys. If you know your American history, which, let's face it, there isn't much of it, you'll know that the Hatfield and the McCoys are 2 feuding families. So I'm not quite sure what that one's mostly about. Doesn't really matter.
I think it's about the history of Channel 4's wife swap.
One called the Hatfield, one called the McCoys. And talking of Channel 4, on E4 this Friday is the 4th series of Misfits, starting at 10 p.m. How many more people from the first series are left on it? That's the problem.
Probably just one,
many.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. One.
Yeah, you'll have to find out. Well, we have a minute left to go, ladies and gentlemen, so I need to tell you that if you want to download this podcast, you can go to Spreaker.com and search Custard TV Live. You can go to and get the links on our website, which is
Custardtv.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter or just talk to me about general stuff in life, I'd love to talk to you about my butterfly collection, but no one ever seems interested. At Luke Custard TV.
And if you'd like to just talk to a normal person, then you can do so at The Gary Show. It won't be me, I'll only phone over to someone else, but nice try. We'll be back next week. Well, I won't be back next week. I'm taking a well-earned rest. So Luke will be back next week with a special guest to talk about the best and the worst on the box.
What are you doing in the gap? Why are you watching me?
Well, there's only 5 seconds. I haven't got time to go into it. But basically, life.